welcome back to the finish line and our Cheltenham Festival 2021, the Forgotten Horses. So this video we are going to have a look at horses that might have run at Cheltenham, that might have missed the season, that we think will go into next year under the radar. So we've each picked 3 or 4 each, and so Tom, off you go, take it away with your first one.
Thanks, Annie. Did you just say might not have run at Cheltenham?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I got a brief wrong because all of mine ran at Cheltenham.
I said might have.
Yeah, that don't matter. That don't matter.
I've got the Forgotten Horses from Cheltenham 2020 that are going to run in 2021.
All the same.
Are they going to win?
Technicalities.
Oh, you're gonna love a couple of these. As I said, I'm saving the best to last now.
Yeah. I'll now put Atto Tom in this.
No, he's not in there. Don't worry. Right, the first one was a horse we backed. He ran in a handicap, so that's why I think people don't tend to look at the handicaps that much. We all remember who won the championship races, the mares races, the novice races. There's a lot of focus on those type of horses, but there's not so much focus on the handicaps. Horse I backed, I'm not sure if a couple of you backed it as well, actually, but a horse called Galvin. Davy Russell rode him. Look, he got knocked sideways at the first, and I watched it again back today. He didn't jump very well at all. He really needs to improve his jumping, but I think that was his 4th run over fences. He'd fallen on his first start. He got caught a bit far back on the rail. Is what happened to him. He had to come wide to challenge. He travelled like an absolute dream. What happened was Imperial Aura won the race. We all know the form of his runs was absolutely fantastic. He looks like a horse who's really on the improve. There's no shame in finishing second to him. Imperial Aura got the first run on him. By the time Davey had got him out and got him wide, to jump the second last and then jump the last, they were only adequate jumps as well. After the last, then he's really kicked on. Davey's actually lost one of his reins, so he hasn't been able to drive him out properly. He's had to gather that back up. But Galvin's run all the way to the line. He's got beaten 3 lengths by Imperial Aura. There was 9 lengths back to the rest of them. I think everyone's going to focus in on the winner because he was a well-supported horse and he did it very well. I wouldn't take anything away from him, but I just think Galvin is going to be the forgotten one. He's going to get overlooked. He's up to 147 now. I think he could go for the 2 mile 4 chase, the handicap, the Brown Advisory. I think if they look after his mark well enough for the season, off around that mark, I think he could go very well in that next year.
He was unlucky in that run. I backed him myself that day, and I just said at the start he got bumped and taken wide. Davey lost his rein. Everything that could go wrong went wrong for him. So, a nice one to start off with. Not controversial, unlike you.
Oh, well, I'll get going in a while. Don't worry.
I really like your clock. Nice clock.
Nice clock, isn't it? I didn't pick it out myself.
I'm impressed with that now.
Jesus, you're easily pleased.
Yeah,
right, what's your one?
I'm just happy. It's
racing's back.
Racing's
back, June.
It's shorts wear weather. The Guinness will be back soon enough. Everything's coming up Millhouse. You ever hear that?
No. You ever hear that? No.
You watch The Simpsons?
Yes.
You're even watching up.
Right, go on.
Am I going?
Yeah, sure, go on.
Do you want
I want one.
The shortest price or the longest price?
I don't give a... See, I don't curse anymore.
Right, my favorite one from the 3 that I picked out, and the one that I will keep following all year, probably back a few times and have I would not a lot each way, but a little bit each way. Anti-post is Happy Diva to win the Mayor's Chase. Tom knows. Look, Tom is agreeing with me there. So you're gonna.
Yeah, really.
Simply from a pricing point of view, Honeysuckle is ahead of her. She'll surely defend her her Mayor's Hurdle crown. Put the Kettle On is ahead of her in the betting. They went in, won the Arkle this year. Why would you not just go Champion Chase with her then, if you know what I mean? You're beating the Arkle horses this year. Salsaretta is favourite. I'd be fairly sure Happy Diva will be better than Salsaretta. And then her Cheltenham form is just really, really, really good. Kerry Lee is actually not a bad trainer. She can train a horse, get a horse ready. She won a big handicap in December around Cheltenham, and I know Tom really fancied Simply the Bets on the Thursday, and she done all she could to give him a proper scare as well. That form is good. Tom just touched on...
You love point with the microphone.
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Where's the sound going?
Tom just touched on the Imperial Aura, so that form stacks up. She wasn't beaten far at all by Simply the Bets. I think she's a great bet for the new race next year, Ryanair Chase.
Not bad show, actually. Actually, 20s.
14s.
14s. That race will call. It's a grade 2, so you're not going to get that many good ones in it.
Exactly, and like you said, it'll cut up. And
I can't see Honeysuckle or Benny going to it.
No, I think Benny will go 3 miles now. Honeysuckle will defend our crown. Put the Kettle On. That syndicate actually likes throwing their horses in and trying to win big races. So she'll go to the Champion Chase, I'd say. So it's her and Salsaretta then at the head of it.
So keep going. Keep talking there, and I'll get there. See who's in the bet.
Our Cheltenham form is rock solid as well. And as we know, Cheltenham horses come back every year and run well. So.
Mayor's Chase. Mayor's Novice Chase. That's Marsh. What am I talking about?
Is there a market for that already?
I'm looking for her.
There it is.
Oh, Mayor's Chase, yeah. So you Salsaretta, Santo and Honeysuckle 10s, put the Kettle On 12s, Ellie May 12s, Benny 16s, Lady Buttons 20s, Happy. Take them out, Happy Diva will go off favourite.
You can actually get 20 to 1 with bet 365.
Robin De Carlo, that's Magic Light now be one I'd be interested in that.
You should surely think Happy Diva would be a bit faster than Magic Light.
Yeah.
She won over 2 miles.
My only worry with Happy Diva, I really like her as a horse. My only worry would be that a proper grade 1 mare would come and do her, you know. But yeah, I wouldn't knock her. She'd be bang there. She's so tough and consistent. So yeah.
Right. So my one is it's a shot in the dark. To be honest with you, it's Thistlecrack for the stay out hurdle. It's a weak division.
Thomas turned away there, but I said to you before. I said to you before, Chad.
Listen.
This is like you might as well go back St. John for the Gold Cup.
No, he's going to win the Foxhunters.
He's going to St. John for the Gold Cup.
Right, listen up. This year it was absolutely diabolical. It
doesn't matter about this year. It doesn't matter about next year.
He ran
see a race course.
He ran once this year, and I was second behind Paisley Park in the long walk hurdle. The rating, your ratings, man, and all this jazz, right? So I wrote this down.
Oh, it's cracking.
He's rated 60 hurdles. Lisgar Oscar that won it is 161. Ronald Pump 156. Bacardi's 155. Emiton 156. They get him back for 1 day next year. Yes, granted, he'll be a 13-year-old. Granted, it is an awful division. If he comes back to the run that he was second to Paisley Park in the long walk, he beats these. He was a runaway winner of it. He's a former King George winner. He's top class horse. Injuries have got the best of him. Why can't they get him back for one more last hurrah in a very, very bad division where you're going to get 33 to 1 on Thistlecrack to win a stay out hurdle? What's wrong with that? Like,
everybody well hurdled. I actually like the team. I wouldn't call it a super bad.
What was it? 3 years ago, he ripped apart the field.
He should have stayed over hurdles.
He should have stayed over hurdles. He ran the King George and he won it. He ran it again. He was second to Clan de Zobo, not last year, the year before. He was pulled up then in the Gold Cup. Like, his rating is there, his back class is there. Granted, yeah, he's 13.
To be honest, right?
What's wrong with it?
Whatever happened in this year that we didn't see him a couple of times, I don't know. But if he had a run to the same level that he ran
If he ran to the market and he ran against Paisley Park, he won the Stayers
He
Hard.
probably would have won it this year.
He wins the Stayers Hard.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I think I'd agree with you on that. My issue is, one, he's going to be 13, and two, since December 2017, so that's going to be 3 years ago, by the time next season starts, he's ran 4 times. So in 3 years, he's going to have run 4 times.
Yeah.
So how can you put him off as a horse that's going to go to Cheltenham?
Well, he is forgotten.
He's a forgotten horse.
He's forgotten, all right.
21. The forgotten horses.
When you think about that race, him and Clouds. Well, Manny Clouds died, and Thistlecrack has just never been the same horse since. They literally destroyed each other that day.
They did.
Back to controversy. I like this. We've missed this the last few weeks. There's been no one giving out the last few weeks.
I tell you a funny story about that race.
No one cares.
Me and Andrew watched that race up here. We couldn't believe what we were seeing.
Many Clouds and Thistlecrack.
Yeah.
Joe, I watched that race. I watched that race in a priest's house. Yeah, I told you you'd like that.
Elaborate on that now.
Yeah, going up, getting the old pre-marriage, signing the old documents, and
I'm
glad you said pre-marriage.
Oh my God! I thought you were going to say something else there.
he took her into another room there, and he left me and Andrew's face. He left me in a room on my own, because you have to go into separate rooms, because he asks you questions like, I know, are you here under duress, basically?
Yeah, is Tom making you marry him, or is he your own person?
I just want to see you, father.
So he took her off. So anyway, this was on. So I was like, happy days. So I've sat there watching the race, and the priest and herself walked back in, and all I've done is I've looked up and I'm like, Manny Clouds is dead. And the two of them stood there, and they didn't know what to say to me. Yeah, needless to say, that relationship didn't last.
Oh, that was the ex, was it? Ah, yeah.
Yeah, it was indeed.
It was a sign.
I'll never forget that race.
It was a sign.
Right, we're around to me, are we?
This is what Tom thinks of this track.
I tell you, he would have won it this year. You know what? He wouldn't have, because Colin Tizzard's horses were running like they were greyhounds.
Right, go on to your second one, Tom.
Right, I think I'll leave my best 2 until last. There's 2 horses I've been rattling on about now since Cheltenham that might go under the radar. One seems to have gone under the radars in the market. I think she should be favourite, and that's Queensbrook. The other one is It Came to Pass for the Foxhunters. I think that, again, like the handicaps, we don't look at the Foxhunters unless it's a horse that we know and love that's winning it, you know. I think It Came to Pass has gone well under the radar. I watched him back again this morning. Very safe jumper. He's not very flamboyant, but he's just safe and careful, which is exactly what you want for a long distance race. He travels really well without being keen, so that's another positive. And then the way he just quickened up the hill, and he just went 10 lengths clear and shot clear as you liked. What I like about this horse is he was going very well in this in 2016, and he fell free out. His only other run then at Cheltenham was that run in the Foxhunters. His form in Ireland was terrible, to be honest. It was absolutely terrible.
Look at that prices there.
Sorry, I was just ignoring you.
I thought you'd gone to sleep.
Oh,
his form in Ireland was absolutely terrible in point-to-point and a Hunter's Chase, and he absolutely turned it around like nobody's business at Cheltenham. So I'd be confident that they'll target him around the race again. If he gets beaten in Ireland, it wouldn't bother me. As long as he turns up for the Foxhunters next year, I'll be backing him no matter what his form is, basically. He's 10 now, but he's lightly raced. He's only had 21 runs, including his point-to-point runs. 8 of those have been wins, so he likes winning, which is another good thing. yeah, I mean, you'd imagine they'll plan around this. But I mean, the thing is as well, it might not have been the strongest renewal of that race ever. I think that's where you can knock it. But if you look at it, the horses who filled the places were Billaway was the favourite, Shantou Flyer was single figures, and so was Stalker Wallace, and they all filled some of the places behind him. So the right horses were there. It wasn't the 66 to 1 all over the board. So I just think he's going to get overlooked. He's trained by Eugene O'Sullivan. He's ridden by Maxine. He's not going to be a flashy horse. He's not trained by Enda Bolger with the JP Silks on coming for the Foxhunters. I think he'll get beaten in Ireland. I think his price will be, I mean, you'll get double figures about him on the day if everything goes as I think it will in my head. And he's just one that we're overlooking, I think.
Well, that's not going to happen.
You make a really good argument, Tom. I have to say, you're quite convincing.
I really like the horse. Really like it.
I didn't look at all this stuff this year and tell us the back in this year when he was 66 to 1.
I said, it was 10 in our WhatsApp group, and that's why I said it, that he stuck out like a sore thumb. I was looking at it about half an hour before the race. I hadn't had a bet, and I was like, will I have a bet? Won't I have a bet? And I didn't fancy Billaway, and one of the horses I went to look at was this lad, and I was looking at his run. But his recent form, like he ran to the 20-something of January, and he pulled up in a point-to-point in Ireland, and I just said, he's got it the game. And then he did that. So I just think whatever he does in Ireland, forget about it, and just back him when he gets to Cheltenham.
Yeah, grand I suppose.
Cody texted me after that, after he won at Cheltenham, about 2 minutes after the race. He bet Billaway already. He just didn't know medal last day. That's mad, isn't it? It's like you could have texted me that 5 minutes before the race.
That's great.
Yeah, it was one of those. It was obvious afterwards.
It's the same when Sight and John's going to win it this year. I was going to say Sight and John for one of these, but I would have got ripped to shreds.
Sight and John don't qualify, does he?
He hasn't won in 2 years.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I think he does qualify. Yeah, because nobody can remember what the horse looks like.
He hasn't won since the John Durkin. Through 2.5 years ago. It'll be 2 years this year.
Yeah, he's gone. He's never coming back.
Anyway, go on. Your one.
My one is, he's going to laugh because of who trains it and who it is, but it is what it is. It's 33 to 1. It's in the RSA next year, and it's the big breakaway. I'm looking at it from Angle's point of view, and I know you both think Monkfish is going to win the RSA.
Oh, yes, he is.
I think it's far too obvious. I think the two best, in my opinion, the two chasers that will come out to be the best 3 mile novice chasers next year were in the race with Envoy Allen. And they're the big getaway and the big breakaway. I reckon they'll keep easy work over hurdles. Maybe go 3 mile hurdling with him. I think the 4 novices in the Albert Bartlett are very good, but I reckon some of them are 4 milers. I think Fury Road's a 4 miler. I think Latest Exhibition will probably be in the 4 miler National One Chase, but it's not a 4 mile race anymore. 3 mile 6. You look at the big breakaway, he had 2 runs in his life over hurdles and then straight into the Ballymore. Tizard's horses clearly weren't firing. Him and Lost in Translation are about the only ones that ran any sort of a decent race. 2nd and 4th. He won his only point-to-point in Ireland, sold for big money, so he's definitely a chaser. He wants 3 miles. He's big, gangly, another summer.
You love gangly horses.
Yeah, I do, yeah. And a big chestnut as well. I love him. I think he's going to be...
Just shaking his head.
I know, I can see it. And then it's a price thing because I think the big getaway is going to be very good as well. I think he'll be Willie Mullins' best 3 mile chaser. He'll be better than Monkfish. But he's 16 to 1 and the big breakaway is 33 to 1 and there wasn't all that much between them in the Ballymore.
What was between them?
2 lengths.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not bad. I like both of those horses. The big breakaway and the big getaway. So won't knock it.
I will, but I won't knock today. Right, you're going to knock out everything else I say. So anyway, My one is for the Champion Chase.
Can we just...
Jesus!
Before he even starts, I seen this before he started, right? And I've tipped this horse a few times, and the amount of slating I got off him for tipping this horse, because he wasn't the grade 1 horse in Andrew's opinion. Never. Even though he won grade 1s, he still wasn't a grade 1. He still wasn't a grade 1 horse. This is like Deputy Soy all over again.
No,
I can't believe it.
What's the name of this video?
I think the name of this video should be The Horses We Should Forget.
2 years ago, he won the bloody thing. And he's 20-1. His 4 figures since he went over 2 miles around Cheltenham is 4th, 2nd, 2nd, 1st. The second was behind Altior, the second was behind Deputy Soy, and the first was in the Champion Chase. He's 20-1.
Hang on, the video skipped. I didn't hear. Who did you tip up? Duvan?
No.
It's actually, look. It's Politolog. Like,
yeah.
I'm not saying
like, he won a Champion Chase by 9.5 lengths. I know it was probably the worst Champion Chase in probably recent history.
No, I wouldn't say that.
I would.
It's just kind of...
He won it by 9.5 lengths.
I think he won it on merit. He was better than all that was in it anyway.
He was.
Significant.
It was like, if you want to go on your times, it was 12 seconds slower than when he was second behind Altior. But he got his own way out in front this time. He done his own fractions. Harry Skelton obviously had his own way and kicked on when he needed to. He's 20-1 in a race where everyone was giving out about, will we see Altior? Will we see Shaq and Postwall? There's definitely will go 2 mile 4 now after that. You take that out. He's the defending champion. He's 20-1. He turns up at all the festivals. He has form at the track, like 4th, 2nd, 2nd, 1st. It's 20-1. It's not a bad bet.
I don't think it's a bad bet at all. I think it's a good bet. And I actually like the horse. I was just shocked you're tipping him because you hate it.
I was looking through it last night, and you have Altior, like, he had an injury season, whatever's up on him. If they all turn up, he'll still be around that. He'll be 16-12, something like that, for a defending champion. But if you get the odd, you're always going to get the odd injury or two to top class horses. I'm not saying I'll back him.
To be fair, he's one you could back now and nearly be positively certain he'll turn up.
He's going to turn up.
Because he doesn't get injured. He's tough. He runs 4 or 5 times a year. I guarantee he would have ran at Aintree as well if Aintree had been on. So,
like, he was beaten out of sight in the Tingle Creek at Sandown. Well, according to Nicholas, he changed things with him, changed up his training regime, changed up the tactics, the way they want to ride him, and Harry Skelton seemed to get on well with him. So what's to say he's not going to run well at least place in the next year?
He's a horse that has run well and then run badly loads of times. Yeah. He's never going to be a horse that puts 4 or 5.
Yeah, he's a horse that reminds me of another horse, another grey horse, Neptune Calange.
Sent by Altior and
he broke up again. He's a horse. He reminds me of Neptune Calange, like another Nichols horse, grey owned by John Hales. Was probably he was susceptible to a top class horse like Denman and Corto, and I think Politolog is susceptible to an Altior or a top class horse like that.
Yeah, that's a fair point to say.
But he'll run his race, and if they don't turn up for any reason, he will run his race, and he'll be bang there. So, if you want your each way money, it's there, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good each way, right? It is.
It was literally just looking through what horse will run. He's definitely going to run. He's going to defend his ground. He's not prone to injury. He'll turn up. That's my case of Politolog. Oh, I thought Tom was good. Tom, you're back up, Tom. You're third.
Oh, my go again. Right. So, my third one is, again, we're going to the handicaps. A horse who really caught my eye. I had a couple of quid trying him and was disappointed. But a horse called the Boss's Oscar, who is trained by Gordon Elliott, ran in the Martin Pipe. And I remember on the day thinking I was hard done by and I should have probably won. And I watched it back last night. He should have won.
So I was
definitely should have won. it was out the back, where I had to go very wide, found loads of trouble, like found a couple of big bits of trouble, but even then, when it looked like it was going to get a clear run, it just had to change its run. Nearly got brought down at last by the faller of the Jigginstown horse, and flew home. Now I mean flew home, and even when he was flying home, he had to get checked again. Finished 5th. I should have won. I'll tell you if I don't think a horse should have won, and I've backed it. It's not money talking here. Like this horse should have won. A bit like Honeysuckle and Benny the Jew. I backed Honeysuckle and I should have lost my money. But,
no, don't open that can of worms out. We'll be here till bloody 5 o'clock.
But anyway, look, only a 5-year-old has only had a few runs. Is very consistent. Off a mark of 138. Could go chasing or could come back for this race. I think, like we all know, Gordon Elliott used to work for Martin Pipe. He likes to have a good shot at this race. If the owners were up for it, I think, as he's only a 5-year-old, they may come back for this. I would hope they would come back for this. Protect the mark and come back next year and would have an absolute cracking chance.
It's a solid show, Tom. I like that one. Well played.
Yeah, he's going to be a good horse.
He is.
Yes,
that's a solid case. I'd say they could go back, as you said. Yeah, I like that. The more I think about it, the more I like it.
He'll be around for a few years. He'll win a couple of decent races somewhere along the way.
Yeah. He's definitely betting 138 anyway.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's at least high 140s, I'd say.
Mine is Defi Desai for the Ryanair, because he should have never ran in the Champion Chase anyway. I can't make head nor tails what Philip Hobbs does when he gets to Cheltenham, because he's actually not a bad trainer week to week, and then at Cheltenham he just can't seem to get a winner the last few years. Defi, to me, it made no sense trying to turn him into a 2-miler this year. He obviously has speed. We all know that. He's a turn of foot. But he bet on the slow twice, who is an 11-12-year-old now retired. He never really had a test of speed. The first day against Politolog at Cheltenham in the Slur Chase, I'd say Politolog wasn't fully revved up either. And it's the only proper kind of 2-mile speed test he had. The undersow races, I wouldn't read too much into it. One of them was run really slowly as well, and then his turn of foot just kicked in, and he ran away with that. He won the Marsh, or was it the JLT when it was run, when he won it, and he bet Lost in Translation. He should have definitely gone for the Ryanair. It made no sense. It looked on the day of the Champion Chase that he was all but guaranteed to win it, because he was surely the best horse out of what was there, and he clearly didn't run his race. He is a Grade 1 chaser,
a Grade 1 yak,
Grade 1 horse. He's 25s, 20-1 in places for the Ryanair. It's going to be a decent enough race next year, but his turn of foot over 2 mile 4, 2 mile 5 is really good. And he definitely isn't a speed 2-mile horse. So I think the Ryanair is the right race, and he's a really good price going on the form that he didn't show at Cheltenham.
I think he needs a falsely run race to use that turn of foot. I think an end-to-end gallop doesn't suit him at all, because he has to use that change of speed to get into the race too soon, and then he's just flat after it.
See, when he won the JLT, Lost in Translation is clearly a 3-mile horse.
He was going slow,
and he outspeeded him for about half a furlong and then just won the race. That's what he wants. He wants to travel behind the bridle. It could be in a slow race, a fast race, but he has a little kick, a little change of gear, and he can get ahead of horses. He won the Triumph as well. Like, majority of Triumph hurdle winners tend to want to go a little bit further in time. So I never thought he was a 2-miler. Me and yourself, Tom, had this conversations with Aplu Tom and where he was going and that as well, like, so, but his price is too big for the form he's shown.
Look, the main thing that puts me off with Defi is it's not his jumping, it's his landing. He has a tendency to land on all fours.
And I don't care how good you are. That's taking that little bit more petrol out of you that you need for. You see in most races, some races with Barry's on him. He's jumping, he's landing. Barry's had to squeeze him to get him going again. That's taking something out of him. So he's negating his speed if he doesn't jump properly. I think it was Ruby Wash that pointed out as well that it's taking a lot more out of the horse to do that. And around 2 miles, you're not going to win that in doing that. Beating Undersow twice. The first time, I think Undersow tried to nearly got him by going down the back straight. Bar the third last fence, I think he clattered. Bar that, I think he would have beat Deffy. The second time there was something wrong with Undersow because the pace he went, there was something up with him altogether. I just don't think that. I said all season, Deffy's not 2 mile.
To me, he's not a 2 miler anyway, and he should. Like, if they're going to persist with 2 miles, I won't be backing him next year. He'll win the odd race or two, but if there's actually full-on 2 mile chaser like that can go breakneck pace like Altior and Shakan, he will not win. No. He will not beat the two of those in any race all year. He didn't face them at all year, but he won't beat them. Their streets are. Shakan and Altior are about 10 pounds ahead of Deffy, I'd say.
I'd like to see Deffy stepped up, even tried a 3 mile trip, because I think a race like that could suit him.
Yeah, because he's a change of gear. I think he would stay 3 miles.
They go a stride slower over 3 mile, and that could be more into his comfort zone. He might be able to jump that bit better, and he mightn't have to use that much gas to get away from the fence, and then coming around a track like Kempton, coming into home straight, you could kick away from him. Yeah. But look, I don't train the horse, so God only knows what's going to happen. Was it me?
Yeah.
Right. My last one is Monolly 50 to 1 for the Gold Cup. It's just on the price alone. He's 50 to 1 for the Gold Cup. It's way too big. I wasn't convinced he'd stay Gold Cup trip at all after last season. He was beat by Dilvan around Clonmel at the start of the season over 2 mile 4. And then he was beaten ahead in the Irish Gold Cup. Or not in the Irish Gold Cup, in the Savills Chase at Leopardstown at Christmas time by Delta Work, where he probably would have won if Rachel didn't lose her irons. And then roll on Cheltenham in a lovely rhythm, third last fence, got chopped off by Santini. Rachel has to switch him out wide around about 4 or 5 horses, came into run coming up the straight and was beaten less than a length and a half into fourth. I'd argue if she kept that inside, she's able to keep the inside rail, she would have either came second or beat Album Photo. She came that fast. I think 50 to 1 and a horse. There's been arguments that people put up in our chat that they're going to drop Manly back down. They're not going to drop Manly back down. When you get bet a length and a half in the Gold Cup, you're not going to go back down for Ryanair. Even though they have Malella Indo, who is 14 to 1 for this, and he is 50s, where he has proven Gold Cup form now. He has proven Grade 1 class in the 3 mile chases. He was second in a Grade 1 at Leopardstown. He was fourth in the Cheltenham Gold Cup. This is purely on price. 50 to 1 for Monley to each way in a Gold Cup. It's ridiculous. His run in the Gold Cup can be marked up massively, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't mind that. I thought he ran a very good race. His Cheltenham fall is pretty good, and he's consistent. You know, he always runs his race. So.
He's a bit of a bitch, though, isn't he? Like, he always gets out battled by something.
I think this year he's
he's
making a man of himself this year.
He's over there now, and he has Harvey the goat in the stable with him, and that's all he wants. Like, he just wants to go straight back to the stable to the goat.
He loves that goat.
He's a bit more of a man this year, but the last 2 years now he was a bitch. Like, you know, as soon as he got into a battle, he crawled up, and that was the end of it.
Like, even last year, the infamous one, not last year, the year before, when Album Photo ran out up in Punchestown, he went off favour for that, and even Robbie Power said he thought Monley was going to win jumping the second last. There's class there. He just needs to bring it and get it all together, and he seems to be getting it together now. He seems to be getting more mature, seeing out his races better, because even over hurdles, he didn't see it out in the Albert Bartlett properly.
No.
Percy bet him, was it?
Yeah.
Was that Percy? Yeah.
Presenting Percy, bet him in the RSA, and something else bet him in the.
And guys, talking of forgotten horses, my next one is.
Oh, cut us off.
Don't.
Wait,
Tom,
I'd sit back for this.
stop.
Come on, Tom. I look forward to this.
Don't you dare, Tom. Unless it's for the stayers hurdle, I don't want to hear it now.
No, God, it's not Percy. No, I'm done with the Percy mission. There you are. Disappointed by that last year.
I look forward to this.
Oh, you want to? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Right.
go on.
I was taking a mick because you were on about Percy. I thought I was going to put that up. That'd be like putting on Fizzlecracker or something, or Duvan.
Size and John.
Oh, I can't wait. I don't care if Sergeant John wins a point. I'm going to laugh at you.
This horse is a horse I liked. A horse that got punted this year for a race at Cheltenham, and I didn't back because I didn't get on at the right price, and I was happy enough that I chose not to get involved at the shorter prices.
It's absolutely
Carefully selected.
He's not able to jump, Tom.
For what?
He's able to jump.
For what race?
He's fine. Do you know what his problem was? I watched the race back last night, and I've watched it about 4 times this morning. He does not want 3 mile 6. He wants as much 3 mile 6 as Frankel wanted 2 mile 7. He pulled. Watch the way he pulled. It was ridiculous.
So what race do you want to go
Which
for?
race, Tom?
What race is he going to go?
Yeah.
I'll get to that. There's two options. He pulled his chance away. He was sweating up. If you look at the field, he's the only one who's covered in sweat. He's pulling Patrick everywhere, all the way around. He didn't jump too bad at all, I didn't think. When the race was developing then, when they quickened, was the only chance Patrick got to get a breather into him. So it looks like it looks like he's just letting the horse drop back. But what he's doing is he's getting a breather into him by the look of things. And that's let the leaders get clear. The leaders are about 15 lengths ahead of him. Then he's made up his ground, and he's actually got himself up into 3rd place coming around the final bend. And he's actually looked like he's going to challenge, which is a miracle for how this horse pulled over 3 mile 6. He is then just bottomed out, completely bottomed out. He's walked through the second last, and he's completely, like, his unseat, how he even got over the fence at the last, I have no idea. Like, he completely clouted it, gave Patrick no chance. He just came to a stop. He was exhausted. This horse was second in the champion bumper. Like, he's plenty of speed. He's loads of speed.
He's not impressed at all.
That thing is an absolute dog now. He is. He's a dog. He finds a way every single race. He finds a way to lose a race. Every single race.
He won plenty now this year.
He won one because the other horse fell beside him, and he was definitely going to get bet.
He wasn't. Go away. He wasn't.
Spyglass Hill.
Yeah, he was 100% going to beat.
He's going to beat him.
Unbeaten over fences this year. I don't know. Look, I really like him. His Cheltenham form, he's gone there. He's been second, beating the neck in the champion bumper. Shown he's got a bit of toe. He's gone there this year and just put a line through that race. Like, just completely forget that it ever happened. Because he was just way too keen. Ridiculously keen. He's got to come back down and trip. That's a no-brainer, I think. From the 3 mile 6. That leads us on to where does he go next year. He's a tricky horse now. He's got a rating of 152, which could leave him with a very high, nearly top weight in the Brown Advisory. If you offered me Galvin off 147 or him off 152 in the same race, I would take Carefully Selected any day of the week. Snow Falcon was top weight in that this year of 157, and then Deaf Duty was one of the next in the weights off about 150 as well, I think. So he'd get into it, the high weight.
But isn't it very rare to see a Willie Mullins chaser go for a handicap at the festival?
It is, and Willie's got, notoriously in England, he's got a terrible record in handicaps. So that is an option. I don't think they'd take that. If you look at this horse's form, they've always pitched him in. I think they think he's a very, very, very good horse and a top class horse. So, what other option does that leave him? The Ryanair.
Don't even start this, Tom. If you're backing this thing all year for the Ryanair, you need to stop now.
I am happy enough to go back this for the Ryanair.
He's not able to jump, like, and he's too slow.
He's not too slow.
Oh,
He proved in the champion bumper he wasn't too slow.
Do me a favour, right? Go back and watch his hurdle race at Punchestown last year. Just watch it. That's
a hurdle race. This lad's a chaser.
But he's not able to jump him. He's dog slow, and he's not able to jump, like.
He's not. Honestly, he's not dog slow.
Andrew mentioned about Deffy land on 4 legs. Carefully selected lands on 4 legs and his tail. His tail is like a 5th leg. He's not able to jump, like.
Honestly, he's not that bad. He's not that bad.
This is like the chat. This is like our group chat all over.
He's a dog.
He travels the way he travelled throughout that 4 miler or national chase, whatever you want to call it.
Why wouldn't he travel? He was 20 lengths behind him. I could travel like that if I wasn't even in the race.
I need to go back and watch this.
He was too keen though. Go back and watch it. He gave himself no chance, and he was still there turning in third. Like he had no right to be anywhere near them.
I'm gonna honestly say that was the worst race I've seen in Cheltenham in the last 5 years. Like, they were some of the worst horses I've ever seen in a 4 mile race. They were terrible. They were terrible, and he should have won it because on ratings he was miles, like hurdle ratings as well. He was miles, and he couldn't even beat him because he's a dog.
Hey Dave, did you back him?
Unfortunately.
There you go, Dave. So anyway, I did a bit of work this morning because I went to look and see what price he might be for a race like this, because Forgotten Horses, he is definitely going to be a forgotten horse.
Like Thistle Crack.
What price? He wasn't in the market.
Either is Thistle Crack.
Ryanair. So I got one of the lads in our group to message Skybet on Twitter for us. So our friends at Skybet have very kindly put Carefully Selected
100 to 1
Ryanair market.
100 to 1.
Dave, he's not 100 to 1. Carefully Selected is now on Oddschecker in the Ryanair market with Skybet, and I'm going to take full credit thanks to me and my friend Beckham from our WhatsApp group. He is 33 to 1.
I wouldn't touch it
and
with
I'm
your
happy
money.
with that, lads. Cheltenham Festival form, a top class novice.
He had Cheltenham Festival form when there was nothing in front of him to make him slow down.
I'm gonna go back and watch his races because you got me wondering now, but he is not that bad.
Tom,
he's not bad. He's a problem with getting from this side to that side.
To be fair, right? Like, I took the piss out of the absolute Tom, but I could see why you wanted it and why it made sense, because he won the race by so much, and then like he had an ability to be a grade 1 chaser. Like, the Ryanair looked the right race and everything, but this is disappointing, to be honest.
Well, the Ryanair next year is actually not going to be a bad race for once in its life. But if you look at the top of the market, you got Sam Crow, a Plutard who I'm happy to give another chance to. Alaho, yeah, I think it was suiting, but there's no value in his price now whatsoever. Min is going to be as old as feckin' Thistlecrack by the time he turns up there again. And then you've got St. Calvados, Melon, Defi Desai, Angel's Breath, Fakir Dudari, Altior. Simply the Bets is still interested. I'm keen on him. But like, you've got Bill away at 33 to 1. Like, for God's sake. Like,
Tom, you mentioned about 10 horses there that Carefully Selected hasn't a hope of beating. And I reckon Imperial Aura and Simply the Bets will both be in that race next year. They both look like they could go into grade 1 chases now after winning the handicaps at Cheltenham.
It doesn't mean they're going to win them.
Like, no, it doesn't mean they're going to win them. But like, they are up and coming horses. And then you have like 6 or 7 probably grade 1 chasers that are going to be in the race. He hasn't, he won't even come in the top 10. Even if he's in the race.
There's 8 horses in it, he won't come in top 10.
And the thing about it, whenever he's under pressure, he falls.
Fair point, actually.
Or he does some sort.
He's never fallen.
Come here, he's tried to eat a fence at Cheltenham, and the other race then, the Spyglass Hill, like he all but fell in that race. Well, how he ended up winning is beyond me. He's too slow, too fat, too stupid. He's the new Sam Crow. He's the new Sam Crow, because Sam Crow's back to normal now. A tick horse. Is that what you call him?
Tick horse.
Yeah.
Tick bastard.
No, he was just way too keen in that National Hunt Chase.
Go back
down in trip of the suit.
Go back and watch the hurdle race at Punchestown Festival last year. Just watch that and you'll change your mind.
How can you say he's slow though when he was third, beating 3 lengths in a Grade 1 hurdle, and he's a massive horse? You can't say he's slow, and that was after.
It was a 3-mile hurdle, Tom.
Champion bumper, coming second in the champion bumper.
There's loads of horses that come second in champion bumper that are not fast horses.
Yeah, I'm not even saying he's fast. I'm just saying he doesn't want 3 mile 6. I think they just got it in their heads.
The hurdle race at Punchestown was a 3-mile hurdle race, and he was like 7th coming around the bend and just stayed on. He's slow as tar, like.
I'm not having it. I'm not having it. We're gonna have to row about this one for the rest of the year then. But like, what race does this horse go for then?
He's an Irish national horse. If he jumps properly.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think he might be an Irish national horse if he seconds. His problem last time was he just pulled his chance away. He had no right to be anywhere near them turning in because he pulled that hard. So that's the thing. That's the angle I'm going on. But like, he's a forgotten horse anyway. That's.
It's fair. It's a forgotten horse video.
Yeah, fair point.
That'd be nice. I won't take the piss out of him like you did with my Thistlecrack.
Can we just remind everyone that Andrew tipped up Thistlecrack? So you're not slagging me for us who finished second in the champion bumper. There's only 8.
I'll be honest. If even one of the horses out of how many did we tip?
What the carefully selected win?
None.
What did Thistlecrack win?
Loads.
There you go.
We tipped up 10 horses. I'll be honest. If even one of those horses end up winning the race at Cheltenham, you're going to make loads of money because they're all good prices.
No, it's a forgotten horse video. Look, we're taking the piss of each other.
We're not taking the piss.
Well, I'm 100%.
Over carefully selected.
I'm 100% backing that happy diva.
I said we're taking the piss out of each other, not the selections.
Oh, I thought you said you were taking the piss with our selections.
No, out of each other.
That's easy to understand if you tuned in and saw Thistlecrack getting tipped up for a race.
Says the fella that a horse hasn't won a bloody race about 6 years.
He's not leaving a go at all, is he?
No.
No, I'm not. He just tipped up Thistlecrack.
And you just ticked up carefully selected.
We'll end this video by people should write in the comments who tipped up better horse, Thistlecrack or carefully selected. What is the better tip there? Because I'll be honest, Thistlecrack is the better one.
Thistlecrack for the stairs or carefully selected for the Ryanair. Which is the better bet?
Yeah, write in the comments.
Thistlecrack at 33s or carefully selected at 33s?
Well, at least with my one you get a chance because he'll turn up.
He'll turn upside down is what he'll do.
He's never fallen.
Oh, brilliant.
On that note.
We could be here all day.
On that note, we'll end it on that.
Tom, it was good to see you, Tom.
Yeah, I wish I could say the same.
Right, that's that done. We'll get back to this. This is going to be a video in itself. Why Tom picked carefully selected versus why Andrew picked Thistlecrack.
Yeah.
Right, lads. Thanks for watching again. Give us a like, subscribe, and we will see you again next week.